Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Will, and I am back this time to do a quick album review. And yes, this is actually my very first review or album review of the year. I'm really trying to get back into the routine of doing some more album reviews because there's been some really good releases so far in 2017. So hopefully in the next few weeks or so I can find some time and I'll be doing some more reviews for you guys. But anyways, yes, my first album review of the year is actually a very good record by the Washington DC punk band called The Priests, and they came out with their very first studio album called Nothing Feels Natural, and this one came out on Sister Polygon Records just a few months ago in January of 2017. And I think I've shown this record in the past in one of my last videos, but I did get a chance to meet the band when they played here in Atlanta just a few weeks ago, and they got I was able to get my record signed as well. It came out on just standard black vinyl with the Sister Polygon labels. Very good looking record, good packaging, and the sound quality is also very good. They did a great job at the Sister Polygon. But anyways, like I was saying before, first studio album by the band, very good record. I think before they had released an EP that it was also very good as well. The band has really been around. It's fairly new. They just got started back in 2012, and like I said before, it is a punk band, but they're very eclectic, I would say, in their sound, especially in this new record. Their sound is almost in every single song they vary so much into their style of music, so it's kind of hard to explain what kind of music they play, but just so you can get an idea, let's go ahead and check out a short clip from one of the songs from the album. This one's called JJ. So yeah, Priests with their brand new album, Nothing Feels Natural. This is a record that I really struggle to find a way to describe their music because their style of music is just so eclectic. Their music or their style in one song may be completely different to the next song that they play in the record. For example, in the very beginning of the record, they might be playing some songs that they may be a little bit more post-punk influenced music. And maybe something that is more similar to or very influenced in a band like Joy Division. And then in the next song they might be playing like a surf rock intro to another song. And then the next one they might be playing something that's more noisy rock oriented, something that may be influenced by something like Sonic Youth. And it is like that throughout the whole album, and I would say that in most cases I would not like that. I usually don't like when bands experiment with too many music styles in one record, but in Nothing Feels Natural it actually flows pretty well. The music is very well composed, and I really like the way that they made the flow of the album fit very well from one song after the other. And the sound may be very eclectic in Nothing Feels Natural, but overall I would say that the whole album as a whole is very catchy. At some points it's also very moody, and but in general it's especially the vocals are very gritty, and definitely a punk rock album. And like I said before, I really like the way that they composed the record and made it all fit as a whole, even though the styles of music are so different from one song to another. Actually, let's go ahead and check out another short clip from the record. This is actually one of my favorite songs from the album. This one's called Pink White House. So yeah, that was a short clip from the song called Pink White House by Priests. And I think this song may be a really good example of what the whole record is as far as lyrics, or as far as a theme in the whole record. This is a very political album, and Priests is also a very political band. Also, obviously being based in Washington, D.C., where they're very vocal about their political views, both when they're performing live in their concerts and in the record as well. I think this record may have been written at the time of the U.S. elections, or the presidential elections here in the United States last year, because especially in one of the songs in particular, they obviously talk about having to choose between a bad candidate and another bad candidate. But I think Priest overall is very in the far left in the political spectrum, and like I said before, they're very clear about their politics. They're very vocal, especially when performing live. I just saw them playing live, and they were very clear about their political views when they were playing in concert. And yeah, some of the songs as well are maybe also about past relationships. I think I could tell in some of the by reading some of the lyrics that they may talk a little bit about breakups and past relationships. But overall, I think this is a very political album, and most of the lyrics are about politics. And they do also something that I really like in this record, which is they kind of they mix a little bit of spoken word, of political spoken word, into their music to build up to some of the songs. And in particular, in one song that I'm gonna play a short clip in the next few seconds, it's a song called No Big Bang. They do exactly that. They kind of start off with a very intense monologue, or like spoken word part of the song, at the very intro or the beginning of the song, and that builds up into the actual song, which I think is a very good technique. They do it very well in this song and in the whole album as well. Actually, let's go ahead and check out a short clip from that song. This one's called No Big Bang. So yeah, now as my final review of the record, Nothing Feels Natural by Priests. As you can tell from my past comments, I really like this record. I was actually a little bit surprised when I saw online in some other reviewers that they reviewed this record as well, and they said that they didn't like the album, or they just thought it was okay. But I think it may be because this record, Nothing Feels Natural, is definitely a grower. I remember when I listened to it the very first time, I just thought it was okay. I was a little bit confused about the whole eclecticness of the music style. But the more I listened to it, the more I definitely liked it. And I got to a point where I can actually say that this may be one of my favorite albums of 2017 so far. Very good record, and but definitely takes several listens to realize how good this record is. I really like the lyrics. They have very interesting political views. It's fun to read about their political views, about their thoughts about the current state of the world in the United States, and it's just very interesting to read about their lyrics overall. And the theme overall of the album is also very interesting. But I would say that the thing that I like the most about this record is the vocals. I think Katie, the singer of Priest, does a great job at showing a lot of grittiness and a lot of emotion when she sings a lot of the songs in Nothing Feels Natural. You can definitely tell, you can feel her emotions coming out of her the way that she sings, and you can definitely tell that her political views mean a lot to her by the way that she sings in Nothing Feels Natural. Yeah, highly recommended album. Also has some really catchy songs here and there, and overall the flow of the album is very good as well, and I highly recommend that you check out the Nothing Feels Natural, and especially if you're into post-punk bands and more contemporary, I guess, post-punk bands like Savages, you will definitely like the music of Priests. Let's actually go ahead and check out another short clip from the album. This one's called Puff. So yeah, Nothing Feels Natural by Priest, terrific album. I'm willing to give it 4 stars out of 5. Highly recommend the record. Again, one of my favorites of the year so far. And one more thing to say about Priests, about the band itself. And not only they're a very political band, but they're actually excellent to go see live. They put a great show when you see the live performing concert live. I'm actually willing to say that I like their live shows so better than their sound on the record. Don't get me wrong, the record is very good and it sounds great, but there's very few things that you cannot show when you see a band live. They just put so much energy, so much power, so much emotion when they play live that it's hard to put that on a record. This is a band that I think you may have to see live to really realize how good they are. Highly recommend that you can, if you get a chance to see them live, they're going to town near you. I think they might be in their last or the final stretch of their tour in the US. But if you get a chance, again, I highly recommend that you check out Priests live. And at the beginning of this video, I'm going to play your short clip, and at the end as well of them playing live here in Atlanta. They played here at the Drunken Unicorn. But anyways, yes, that's my review of my first review of the year. Nothing Feels Natural by Priests. I hope that you enjoyed this review and you give it a listen. Again, it's a very good album, but it may take a few listens to realize how good it is. Again, VC, thank you for watching and take care. Bye bye.